Howdy. It's Saturday afternoon, about 3:30. The girls are starting to come home, and I just thought I'd make a quick video for you. I'm going to go into the hives tomorrow. I have finished with the thymo medication, so I'm going to go in tomorrow. I'm going to take the emery shim out and put the two hive bodies right next to each other. But I've been a little concerned that they're getting overcrowded, and a little concerned that they might swarm. And so I talked to my mentor, and he suggested that I put a honey super on, which is also filled with frames that they can draw comb on, and that'll let them know that they have enough room and that they don't need to go take half the bees and the queen and go find another place to live. So I want to keep them here. In a few weeks, the queen will start slowing down on laying the eggs. It's called a brood down for the fall, and so I'm not real concerned they're going to swarm, but I just want to be preventive. The other advantage of putting the honey super on now is I could get, possibly, best case scenario, I could get a super of honey from each hive. But more than likely, I won't get that much. But they'll start drawing comb on these new frames, and I'll have a head start for next year on it. Because they will develop comb and honey faster if they have already frames that with drawn comb on it. I have come up with a new way of treating these. When I started out with the two hives in the larger frames, I had to coat those, because these are plastic foundations, I had to coat those plastic foundations with wax. And what I did is I followed the instructions that I had, which was to melt down the wax, use a foam brush, and spread it out on there. And there must be a real technique to it, because I had problems. Because I had so many of my cells got filled over with wax that I had to pick them all out one by one. And it took me hours to do that. I did a little experiment, and it worked out really great, and I'm going to bring in and show you how I now coat my plastic frames. A lot of people like to use the natural beeswax frames because they say they have a difficult time getting their bees to draw in here. I have had no problem at all. With the ultra-thin syrup and the wax added onto the plastic frames, they've drawn on there just fine for me. So I have this new technique I'm going to share with you. I'm going to bring you in and show you how I now coat my frame. Okay, here we are in my kitchen, and I'm about to coat the plastic foundation frames with beeswax. Now I take a solid chunk of beeswax, and I'm just going to rub it on there. You're going to give it a little force, but you'll see wax. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, probably not, but you can see the wax being left on these cells. So I do the edge, nice, and you want to get it on everything. And then just spread it on. I got a nice flat edge here, just leaving a little bit of wax, scraping it off. You can feel it, you can see it being scraped off, and you can feel it. And we flip it over, do the same thing to the other side. Now these foundations come with a little coat of wax, but it really entices the bees to come up and start drawing comb on these frames if you do a little additional wax. Okay, that looks like enough. And then what I do is I just take a simple hair dryer on high, and I go back and I melt it to the foundation. And you can see that it becomes shiny as it melts. So I rest assured that it's in there and adhered to the foundation. So make sure it all melts up nice. There's a little big chunk there I'm melting down. Do it to both sides. The hair dryer is nice and hot now. It's melting it as soon as it's hitting it. Another big chunk there. And that's it. I find with this method I've got a lot more control of how much wax gets put on there. And like I said, when I did it last time, melting it down and spreading it on, I spent hours picking wax out of individual cells because they were capped over. And this took me 2 minutes to do a frame, and that's a heck of a lot easier and faster than it was the last time. So that's my new method, and we'll see you out in the bee yard in the morning.